inculcation of the fear of God and the committing of mortal sins. The parish priest was a fearsome man, a mini Ayatollah. Few, if any, would cross him. Where are they now? How did it all go wrong? Why did they lose their grip? Yes, some of them can talk in riddles from the altar, but they can't talk to the people. So as the people hear and understand them, some of them have lots of airs and graces. Some of them like to think that their social standing is still hugely important. Most of them do not like criticism. My mother and father's generation would have kissed the ground that they walked on. But that has all changed. And who changed it? Themselves, ourselves. When pedophiles preach the path of righteousness, parishioners puke the world over. So, what were we being told anyway when Padre told us a story about the Eye of the Needle? I don't know. I never did know. But sometimes I think that the priest was trying to tell us that the rich man, by virtue of the fact that he is rich, he will have so many weaknesses and so much potential to sin that he will never make it through the gates of heaven. Perhaps the Padre forgot. He too can be a rich man. Welcome to the mental and the paraldehyde experience. Mood disorder is not a very sociable kind of illness, though generally speaking, in one way or another, you are better accepted in your own company, away from others. And this is why the Gorchin Glens became a favourite haunt of mine. It was a forestry plant outside Oman, and it gave me everything I needed. It was beautiful any season, and it was totally secluded and isolated. And it allowed me to indulge the passions when the hives took me. Drinking, dancing, talking to the trees, arguing, reasoning and walking for miles and miles. There's not another sinner on the highway. It wasn't to last though. Omagh is a small market town, and word somehow it gets around. Aye, they say he spends a lot of his time up in the glens drinking. That's right. And laughing and talking to himself. That's true. How long that's true? They took me out of a social club on the Gorchin side of Omagh one night. I was just sitting in there having a wee drink and a wee bit of crack, and I was kind of dancing the dance. What? I was dancing about the fucking town. What? Right. All right, I'll tell you. I was dancing about the fucking dance floor on my own again. All right. They were my mother and my brother, one crying and one stony faced. They took me up to the mental. I fought with 4 male nurses going in who tried to assault me, but ended up getting assaulted themselves. Reinforcements were quickly marshalled, and I was strategically ambushed. They jumped me from behind, they knocked me to the ground, and then they dragged that fucking paraldehyde into my arse. Oh, stop! Leave me alone! Fuck you, fuck. Stop it. Later on, I was lying in a dimly lit, darkened wee room, and I was just about to give up the ghost of consciousness when I sensed that astral body winging its way towards me, and it was saying to me over and over again, it was saying to me, shouting at me, and what the fuck are you doing dancing about the fucking dance floor on your own again? I just laughed and passed out. The hospital, the institution, or the mental as it is called in Oman, demands that its inmates obey the rules. And like most institutions, if you obey the rules, life can go on, very uncomplicated. Subdued a little, aye, but uncomplicated. If you are insane, then perhaps the rules help a little bit because they bring a little order to your otherwise wayward existence. But if you are a little bit mad, and you don't know why, and you can't figure out why you're a little bit mad, then rules have the potential to be difficult. Stuff your fucking tandas up your hole, you dirty looking wee hooey. I said to the bespectacled male nurse for the fourth time in the first week, and then I stepped back a little bit to see what would happen. And sure enough, a little team began to gather out in the corridor. A couple of doctors going up and down past the door of the office. Now, they've got the jag again. They're coming for me, they're coming at me, and down again I go, and more formaldehyde. Oh, they jag me with the fucking needle again, them and the fucking formaldehyde. Oh, stop. I don't want your fucking tablets. Stop it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Leave me alone. Beginning of the second week, I decided to change tactics and play their little games for a while. I was civil, I was approachable, and I said to them, look, I'll take your little tablets. And they smiled, and I smiled back at them. But later, from a distance, I thought, yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir, and am I the sweetest little fucking patient that you ever did see in all of your living days? Kept a low profile. Then I thought they would let me out. They didn't. So fuck them. They didn't change me. Then or now. ECT, electroconvulsive therapy. Shock treatment. I know from watching ECT sessions what is going to happen. They wheel me in from the anteroom into the ECT suite. Things are differently familiar. But my heart is still thumping in my chest. Beepers are peeping around the room. Monitors and more monitors. Warners of impending disaster. They slide my mattress from one bed to another. I'm on the ECT trolley now. Personnel move around the room. Nurses, doctors, an anaesthetist. I feel the quiet efficiency of the team. Soft voices, reassurance, calmness. They don't say neuro sledgehammer. My thoughts try to cope with the whole scenario, but again, I am angry and I'm mixed up. And, as always, that little astral body has been following me around the whole day long. asking me the same questions over and over again. Why am I? Why should I be here? Why do I have to take this electric treatment? No answers from inside my head. They're putting the electrode monitors on my chest now. I look up. Eyes do not meet. I feel my arm being lifted up by the anaesthetist. I sense the shock is not far away. The anaesthetist, he utters little nothings and talks about little scratches and this not hurting as he traces for an effective pathway to deliver the knockout. Aye, it's here, it's here, it's here. Suddenly I feel the pierce of the needle as it punctures the vein, and I slip into that deep, deep pit of unconsciousness to allow the shock somehow to stir up the neural spot and kick the hell out of this depression. Cloak of foolishness. I regained consciousness one morning in the local mental hospital, and a strapping big lad from the Barra direction, who later told me that he spent his time knocking on people's doors in the middle of the night. Well, he said to me, "Look, you've been asleep for more than a day, at least." I had fought with staff when they brought me in. Square peg in a round hole. A manic in an institution. Will he do as he's told? Will he obey the rules? Will he fuck? Go to bed now, the agent in the white coat says to me, or we'll put you. How long ye hear ye? I said to him. How long? I want to see the little dot that comes up on the TV screen. You know the little dot that comes up before the station closes down for the night? Don't get smart with me, you fucker. The white coated one threatened me. Fuck away off, I told him. Well, next thing the gobshite was behind me, trying to bend my arm up my back. And I spun him around, ran him face first into the wall. Two more of the white-coated ones rushed me and knocked the two of them to the ground, and now the alarms were off proper. Well, I ran as fast as I could down a corridor and into an empty dormitory. And I could hear the posse coming full pelt behind me. I jumped up onto an empty bed and I stood there in my bare feet with my back, and maybe more importantly, my arse against the headrail of the bed. And I thought to myself, well, now I have height advantage and I have my back and my arse against the headrail of the bed. The posse burst through the double flapping doors, but they pulled up short when they saw me standing on the bed. There was a heavy silence for a few seconds. And then the leader of the posse, the night charge nurse, who I knew from before, he turned to one of the gang and he said, "Get the formaldehyde drawn up. We know this bollocks from before." And then he turned round to me, and in a much softer, nicer, sweeter voice he says, "We want no violence here. We want to resolve this peacefully. We know you're not well, so come down off the bed." I just said to him, "Why did you send for the jag then?" Well, they dived in and the first two got a barefoot kick in the teeth, but I was soon overpowered, and I roared at them, and I roared at the world, and I roared at myself. I was so fucking angry with all this mental business that I shouted at them that the white coats were the only thing that was different between them and the female nurses. And it certainly wasn't the balls between their legs, because they didn't have any. And we all fell in a heap on the floor. Somebody laughed. Somebody kicked me in the ribs. And then the formaldehyde came. I was dragged off to a single room again, and they jagged that damned chemical into my arse again. I used to think about that formaldehyde stuff, you know. They give it in glass syringes because it melts the plastic ones. King of the sedators. And no wonder the big sleeps or the unconsciousness. It stinks too. It comes out in your breath. It comes out in your pores. It stinks the ward the whole day long. As a matter of fact, whenever they brought me here first, I was thinking they should have called this damned place Peraldehyde House. Next evening I was sitting out in the toilets, on a bench in the toilets, and I was reflecting on the madness. What was it? And what drove it? The pipes in the toilet clugged and clanked and hissed as if pouring scorn on my thinking, and I smiled wryly at my paranoia. No, but where did it go wrong? It was okay in my younger days. It was okay when I was across the water. You know, I think the mania started after I broke my neck. My existence then was enforced idleness, dole days in Omagh, 25 pence for a pint on mix on the high street, and fuck this for a game of soldiers. This manic thing, it's like all functioning parts of the brain taken off at the same time. Full throttle, booster rockets, the whole fucking lot, firing at the same time. Can I drive this thing or not? Too fucking right I can! What theme are we on anyway? Am I the greatest man in the world? No doubt, watch and I prove it, you bags of horse shit! No, Jesus Christ, no, don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. That's not the way of it. That's not the right way of it. I don't understand this manic thing. I don't understand it. I can't see it coming. I can't see it coming. I can't even see it when it's here. I can't stop it. I can't control it. This manic thing controls me. Everything I fucking will do. I can't stop it. I get up off the bench among the hissing pipes. Still a prisoner in Peraldehyde House. Not much the wiser for my reflection. My arse still sore from the needles. And this one abiding thought is going round and round and round in my head. And that is, I have got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of this place. I need out of here. Insight rejected. Fuck yous all. I reject this cloak of foolishness. In Donegal. Now, I think I've weathered these experiences and people will not change, and I will not change, and even though I've come through a few squalls, I do not fool myself. Always, down the road, there can be worse to come. Question's still there though. Why am I? Why is anyone? Now I think the secret of answering that question is to ignore it. No, don't even ignore it. Accept it. Sometimes it is easy to accept things, like when you're lying on Lahi Beach with a cold beer in your hand and the little dancers are coming out of the sea. Sometimes it's more difficult to accept things, like when you're being held down on the floor of the mental and a couple of gobshites in white coats trying to push formaldehyde into your arse. And you know, sometimes we needn't even think those questions. When we see the little starving pot-bellied wains, filled only with air, scream shrilly in hunger-stricken fear as their short time on earth